Tesla Model 3 is wreaking havoc in ICE luxury sedan market. In manufacturer boardrooms, will likely be written off as a sudden trend from sedans to SUVs. Then Model E will arrive and likely eat all of the high-margin bits of the SUV market. While I believe there is significant impact here, the analysis is too limited. It doesn't speak to what is stated other places as an overall downward auto sales trend and the delta between Tesla Model 3 sales and the downward trend of the auto market sales as a whole. There's are interesting data points and I'm sure they are related, but I'm not sure as to what degree. AKA Tesla sold say 100k Model 3s. Number isn't right just for example purposes and the downward trend is 500k less cars sold. While the 100k is impactful, it is not the same as 100k Model 3s sold and a downward trend of all other manufacturers by 100k, showing a more likely direct correlation between Tesla's entry and lagging sales for other manufacturers. Where exactly do you see the Model 3 impact there? I believe you have just completely disproven what you tried to prove. All the sedans in US bump an increased downturn when Model 3 sales ramp up. The lines are flat since 2016. Therefore Model 3 sales obviously have zero impact. Sedan customers are buying SUVs from the same companies. For example, the X3 sales increased more than 3 Series sales fell for BMW. BMW just had a record year in sales in 2019, better than any ever before. Just putting two numbers or charts side by side does not mean there is a causation there, and, going further, if, as proven above, Model 3 did not have any measurable impact on 3 Series sales, then Model E will also not have an impact on X3 sales. Those are just basic logical conclusions from facts. Figuring out why I will leave an exercise to the reader. Overlay this against the luxury SUV CUV market and you will see why the sedans fell pretty quickly. The chart doesn't show Model 3 killing that segment. It shows Model 3 has bucked a trend away from such vehicles. Model E will have no such tide to swim against. These are based on yearly sales trends here in the US, which is fine, but keep in mind that from 2010-2019 light-duty truck sales rose from just over 5 mil to well over 12 million. I get that it's two different groups or markets here, but the sales have to come from somewhere and it's definitely not just truck owners purchasing new trucks. There are a ton of truck owners who traded in their family sedans for trucks over the past decade. Trucks are not the same as trucks in the past. They are borderline luxury vehicles which are very nice to drive, and just happen to add convenience that you can never get with a car. I guess what I'm saying is the TM3 hurting the ICE luxury sedan market? Of course it is. It's definitely not helping. But I think the massive rise in $30, $60,000 truck purchases, and advancements in these vehicles likely play more of a role here. It looks like sales of luxury sedans have been low since 2016, not since Model 3 came out. I don't see a decrease directly related to the 3. As someone who was a loyal Mercedes owner, I ordered a Model 3 last week. It's the future. Good, really good. What's ICE? I'm not American. If I had the money, I'd buy a Model X. Those doors are awesome. And it's a Tesla. Around here most BMW dealers got rid of their cheap leasing for the 3 Series. Mercedes never really had great lease deals for the C-Class. For the longest time it was you could lease a 3 Series or a C-Class for the same price as financing a Camry, which in turn made it worthwhile. They were great commuter cars. Now why the hell would you opt for an IS, 3 Series, or C-Class when the Model 3 is hands down better in every way? Performance-wise, the SR Plus performs nearly as well as the top-of-the-line version of the car, 340i, C43, etc. The LRAWD performs just as with the competition variants, and the performance just blows them away. To top it off, it's not like the range is unacceptable, especially for people in the luxury sedan market. That's wonderful. Every dollar that goes to Tesla is a dollar that doesn't go to a dealership. I can't wait until the day I can buy a new car without having a salesperson lie to my face. I wonder if this is overblown. For several years, car companies and dealerships have been pushing everyone away from cars and into SUVs because they have way higher markups and profit margins. Crossovers and SUVs are wreaking havoc on sedan sales. The people who buy these types of cars are used to a high level of service after the sale. It's one of the reasons they buy cars in this class. It will be interesting to see if Tesla is able to deliver on that aspect, considering they have had difficulty in that area to some degree, and the number of Tesla owners is increasing exponentially. This is amazing. No, I mean, from my experience, I'm seeing a ton of Model 3s, but also more XS. Teslas are just incredible cars. This is why everyone hates Tesla fanboys. Anyone who's taken the statistics course or has common sense can see that your evidence does not back your claim. I just love any news that will piss off Bob Lutz. Although he actually said something encouraging about Tesla recently which really threw off my perception of everything. All the German vehicles listed here are at the end of their life cycle, having been in the market for 5+ years at least. Not only is the Model 3 not 5 years until its cycle, it's also got a USP being the only vehicle to go for if you want an EV. Whilst it will be taking sales from traditional EVs, it's less definitely not as much as articles like this like to pretend. I dumped my BMW 535i for the Model 3 long range. Would get Model Y in a heartbeat if it were out last year. Truck market in 5 years. Can someone with experience in business of charts explain? I hate looking at charts and going high. Tesla number 1. Is there a reason for downward trend? Or are SUV sales actually going up? Tesla will be disrupting quite a few industries. All those years of government subsidies to German automakers. Look where they're at now, no global EV presence. So much for investing in EV tech went to the CEOs. Correlation does not equal causation. Wait till the truck arrives to S on their already shat on S show. How did Acura let that sort of market share go? What an awful car brand. You have the most reliable, consumer-friendly brand to source from. You literally just need to make them nice, and you can't even do that. Looks like the Acura TXL went base jumping. I don't see why you would buy any other car for the money. Isn't this exactly how personal computers became disruptors in the mainframe and mini-frame computer market? And then how laptops and iPads disrupted the PC market? Good. Malaise should be rewarded with failure. If you have $50,000 to burn, why not buy the future? Their tech package is so far ahead of the competition, it is silly. I have not seen a single Tesla nor electric car here in Madrid all week. Not one. I will bet a fair amount of it on the Chinese trade war. The Model E will be the final nail in the coffin of old ICE relics trying to compete. A new mindset has shifted in the market. This is obviously bullshit. Mercedes alone sells 2 million cars a year. Tesla sells 250k a year. Most likely the sales have moved to SUVs, and Tesla was a factor. There is a reason Ford decided to stop selling sedans, cause demand is met. All of the, what about less than a SUV model price greater than, is missing the dollar impact of autonomy. A 2020 Model Y has a near 100% chance of being autonomous by 2023. A 2020 RAV4 or CR-V or Escape has a 0% chance. Throw in the longevity and fueling considerations, and a 2020 Model E will be worth 10x a 2020 RAV4 3 years from now, well before the loans are paid off, for most. I feel like this website is in the uncanny valley. It just kinda popped into existence a few months ago with absolutely no acknowledgement that it wasn't always there, and a bunch of articles written under obvious pseudonyms. Then weird Reddit accounts came out and started linking it. What's up with OP moderating 10 different empty electric car subreddits? Does anybody else find it odd that there's absolutely no indication of who's really behind it? I'm still of the opinion that it's some sort of stealth marketing effort or something. Man, you gotta love Tesla. Yeah, anyone who buys a 3 Series with the Model 3 existing doesn't make any sense to me. I really want to revisit this once the Model Y has been in production for a full year, 2021. Right now, some of the drop in sales of sedans could be explained by a general migration to SUVs. Pretty cool. But gotta say that there was massive pent-up demand here. Pre-orders. The interesting part would be this looks like 2019 and 2020. What's ICE? What is ICE? Aren't most of the comparable vehicles primarily on lease? Given the prices are similar, M3 to competition, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise for people to choose something different. I live in Silicon Valley and these things are everywhere. It's also quite rare to see newly purchased European models being driven here. When can we see an SUV that is bigger than the Model X? Or do they just figure people with larger families are too poor to buy one? What's ICE? Tesla makes cars appealing again. Number woke. That blue line is S3XY, face with heart-shaped eyes. Greater than Tesla Model 3 is wreaking havoc in ICE luxury sedan market. Tesla Model 3 is very far removed from the definition of luxury, or at least nobody would call it a luxury car in Europe or Asia. Even the Tesla S barely qualifies. Non-perfect build quality, poor choice of interior materials, lack of certain amenities like heated steering wheel, noisy ride due to lack of ground-wise sound insulation, hard suspension, etc. means the Tesla 3 is premium segment at most. Luxury means Lexus, higher-tier Benz and BMW models, Maserati, Ferrari, Lambo, Bentley, Rolls. Just wait until the Mi hits the roads and they take over the largest market. Law, in what universe is the Model 3 a luxury sedan? D. It's a medium-cost middle-class car. Nothing about it makes it a luxury car. Model S might come closer, but even Model S isn't a luxury car, it's also a medium-cost middle-class car. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to hear more of the best posts.